And cis is also from the Latin, and it means on the same side as.
Whoa, you have a deep voice.
They're both adjectives. They're both describing words, as in green and blue, door. Green is an adjective to describe the door. Tall, short, they're adjectives as well. So trans is an adjective. So trans woman, transgender woman, is a woman who is transgender. A cis woman is a woman who is cis, not transgender. And again, we have cis man, trans masculine, cis masculine as well. We tend to, in society, we tend not to give a label to the default. It always frustrates me when I'm watching TV and the sports programs, and they talk about women's football, the women's Premiership, the women's Super League. We don't have the male Premiership, we don't have the male World Cup, we don't have the men's Championship, but we seem to want to label the women's one for some reason. I think it's probably things like tennis that are more progressive. You know, they have women's and men's tennis, so they talk about it interchangeably. So we don't talk about the word cis because it's kind of the default, and we've grown up not needing a word to describe it, so we just don't use it. It's not a slur. It's not intended to create or force somebody to have a word that they don't like. It's just a reality. Same side, different side. My gender identity, I was on a different side than I was given when I was born. They picked me up at the ankles, had a quick look between my legs. It's a boy. They never asked, didn't check with me, but that's the reality that occurred.
The f*** is he talking about?
Now, I do apologize. That first clip we just saw was a little bit longer than I generally like to start a video with. However, I wanted you guys to hear the part where that fella said, yeah, when I was born, they grabbed me by my ankles, flipped me over, I had to look between my legs and said, it's a boy. They didn't ask me about it. Correct, sir. Doctors generally don't ask newborn babies what their gender identity is. And then he was talking about how cis was just a default word and there was never really a term for it before. Well, there was. It was just normal. Anyway, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So I have a fairly quick and very crazy clown world update for you guys today. And as usual, we just don't have any time to waste. So let's get into it. Now, if you place your attention on the screen for a moment. So this is Josie. Now, Josie is a biological man that identifies as a trans woman and calls himself a transbian or trans lesbian. Now, Josie uses she, her pronouns in only women's restrooms. Huh?
It rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
All right, let's keep it moving with everybody's favorite paid establishment shill, the young lad Harry. Now, I know. We just saw a clip of young Harry in yesterday's video. This is just too good not to show you guys. So in this clip, Harry's going to tell us that no, he's not told what to post by the Biden camp. He just wants to stop the spread of misinformation online. And he's going to tell us how sharp Joe Biden is. Roll it.
All right. So now you point out you've met him. You've been invited to events. Has the White House, the Biden campaign, ever tried to tell you what to say, tried to get you to look at something?
No, I've never gotten like a, you must post this, you must post this. There have been briefings where they say, look, there's so much misinformation on social media. We just want you to have the most accurate information, but there's no pressure to post. There's never been like, oh, you have to say this, or we're going to be angry with you or anything like that.
A few moments later.
As a 21-year-old, when you see those things from Biden, how he talks, how he walks, the gaffes, do they give you pause?
Never. Never once have I ever been concerned about the president's age. I mean, look, there's three things I think about when I think about the president's age. Look, Republicans and world leaders have said that he's fit to serve. Kevin McCarthy said that he's sharp, he's strong in negotiations. President Biden has also had a physical this year and on site conducting exams were neurologists, and they said that he passes exams perfectly fine. And, you know, I refer to President Biden's 60 Minutes interview where he said, you know, watch me in a question about his age. And I'm watching him, and his record's fantastic. And the last thing I'll say is, like, I spent time with the president. I interviewed him, and I was never concerned. He was sharp. He didn't get any advance on the questions I was asking. He gave me really thoughtful answers, and I've never been concerned about it.
Meanwhile,
she knows so long as she was denied, our freedom can never be secured.
I spent time with the president. I interviewed him, and I was never concerned. He was sharp. He didn't get any advance on the questions I was asking. He gave me really thoughtful answers.
You're a liar. You're a liar!
You know something that you're not telling us, you slimy scumbag liar!
Remember, guys, since there is so much misinformation out there on the interwebs, young Harry is just trying to bring us the most accurate information possible. Anyway, next up, since we are in an election year, let's do some more politicking. Here we have pop star Billie Eilish, not only showing us that she has a severe case of TDS, also known as Trump derangement syndrome, but she actually endorses Joe Biden. Roll it.
Donald Trump is destroying our country and everything we care about. We need leaders who will solve problems like climate change and COVID, not deny them. Leaders who will fight against systemic racism and inequality. And that starts by voting for someone who understands how much is at stake. Someone who's building a team that shares our values. It starts with voting against Donald Trump and for Joe Biden. Silence is not an option, and we cannot sit this one out. We all have to vote like our lives and the world depend on it, because they do. The only way to be certain of the future is to make it ourselves.
What the hell did you just say?
It starts with voting against Donald Trump and for Joe Biden.
Shut the f up, okay? Shut the f up!
All right, let's do one more case of TDS. Now, this lovely lady is so excited that Donald Trump was found guilty on all 34 felony counts that she's not thinking, well, maybe we shouldn't be going after former presidents for misdemeanor bookkeeping errors that the statute of limitations ran out on. Let's drink some champagne. Roll it.
34 felony counts! 34 felony counts! 34 felony counts! Finally, Donald Trump is being held account for something illegal he did. Finally! Cheers, bitches!
She's fit for a straitjacket. This broad's 3 ways towards the weekend.
All right, next up we have this social media influencer slash rapper, I guess, who goes by the name of Whoa Vicky. Now, one thing I can say about Whoa Vicky is she's not a fan of Joe Biden, which is more than I can say about Billie Eilish. Now, see if you can tell what language she's speaking. Roll it.
What's up, y'all? Y'all know times been getting rough out here. Gas like $10, eggs like $10, all because of Biden and stuff like that. I recently deleted my OF, so money ain't been coming in like that. And also, the TikTok, y'all not getting to me good enough, so I had to come and get me a real job over here selling cars. I actually just sold my first car today, and they paid me more better than TikTok ever did. But yeah, y'all come buy y'all car with Whoa Vicky.
Automax in Miami, we make it happen.
Automax, how may I help you?
Are you fucking retarded? What the hell's the matter with you?
So that young lady, Whoa Vicky, is just further proof that you don't need to be smart nor talented to be successful. Anyway, next up. So this clip is interesting as we will see the progression of the woke mind virus over a 2-year period. Roll it.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Why? Why would you do that to yourself?
Real quick, before we go any further, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsors of today's video. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to let this loop on the screen now. In honor of Pride Month, this young lady went out and got rainbow-colored freckles tattooed on her face. Anyway, today's video is being brought to us by our first sponsor is Patty Howen. Patty, thank you so much for sponsoring yet another video. I really appreciate the continued love and support. Second sponsor of today's video is Amber Wood. Amber, thank you as well for sponsoring yet another video. I really, really appreciate the kind words and support. So today's video sponsors are Patty Howen and Amber Wood. Now, if you'd like to sponsor the next video and help support the channel, there is a PayPal link in the description box below, and I will say your full name as a sponsor of said video unless stated otherwise by you. All right, get this off the screen, please. Why? Just why?
Because she's an idiot, or she's insane.
So clips like this next one are kind of sad, honestly. Now, this is a biological woman that identifies as a trans man, And a lot of times these young ladies will take a bunch of testosterone and get a double mastectomy to try to be something they're clearly never going to be. Roll it.
Oh, you want to know what they're really not telling you about starting testosterone? The words of endearment that men will use to refer to you in public spaces. It's cool when you first start out. Hey, dude, what's up, bro? How's it going, man? You're like, yeah, this is gender affirming. This is what I wanted. This feels correct. I'm safe, okay? And then you start to live a little. Then you start to develop a little bit of hindsight. You got some data to go off of, okay? Every day of my life, I am Buddy. Hey, buddy, what's up, buddy? Oh, here's a drink, buddy. Coffee shops, grocery stores. I drop something, a stranger on the street, your grandma's house. I will be called buddy. And that's cool. I didn't think that was a problem, okay? And then I realized that every other guy in my life is boss. My best friend, my boyfriend. If I'm at a coffee shop, oh, hey, buddy, here's your drink. Boss, here you go. Me, in response to getting buddied. Oh, thanks, boss. Have a good day, boss. And then you start to think, like, okay, so I've never gotten boss once. Like, what about me isn't boss?
Are you off your fucking meds or something? Yes.
So this next clip is, well, slightly bizarre. Here we have a grown man crying on camera because the Oklahoma State Supreme Court said that black people won't be getting any reparations in Oklahoma. Roll it.
I'm so fucking angry right now. I hate doing camera shit. I hate it, man. Don't even have the capacity to even talk about this shit. But I'm fucking angry. And the sad thing is I already knew what the fucking ruling was going to be. Because Oklahoma is that place. It is that place where black people see little justice in that place.
You act like a little bitch right now.
Now, before we wrap the video up, I wanted to show you guys these two photos that I came across that perfectly encapsulate the woke mind virus or leftism or whatever you want to call it. But they also reminded me of certain insects and amphibians and reptiles like frogs and snakes that you may encounter in the wild that have these really bright colors. And basically what it means is, I'm poisonous. I'm toxic, so avoid me at all costs. Here's the first photo. And here is the second photo. Now, I'm not quite for sure exactly what we're looking at here. Quite possibly something akin to Pat from the old Saturday Night Live skits back in the day. The caption says, "This is your daily reminder that fat people also need wheelchairs." What?
And these kids carry on today. You can't tell boys from girls.
All right, guys, let's jump back over to politics to end the video. We're going to be wrapping it up with this clip of Joe Scarborough from MSNBC's Morning Joe talking about how Joe Biden had a strong showing at the G7 summit. Then he says only those who support freedom are for sending billions of dollars to Ukraine. How does that make sense? Anyway, things are clearly getting very crazy out there, guys, so please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Until next time, love you guys. Peace. Roll it.
It needs to be said. I mean, you have Joe Biden here with a schedule that would be brutal for anybody.
Oh my gosh.
Any president of any age going to Europe, a couple times on D-Day and spending 5 days in France, going over to the G7.
In the middle of the personal struggles.
In the middle of the personal struggles, the Hunter trial. And yesterday, even critics were saying that he did a strong job, very good job representing the United States, even though, again, we have some cheap fakes that the RNC, once again, spreading vicious lies about Joe Biden. But that's who they are.
We should point those out.
That's who they've become. We will point that in a second. But Jonathan Lemire, I was struck by the strong message as well that Joe Biden delivered yesterday. I mean, the United States and our great allies in Europe have really stood shoulder to shoulder here, other than Mike Johnson and Donald Trump holding up badly needed security aid to Ukraine. Now that roadblock has gotten passed, and people who actually love freedom and love democracy and hate authoritarians who invade other countries, it seems to me we have them outnumbered as far as people in Europe and America that actually support freedom at all times, unlike a lot of Republicans in the House. But a very strong message. The United States followed the EU in its support, and now they get together, the G7, and another $50 billion going Ukraine's way.
You pompous, stuck-up, snot-nosed, giant, twerp, scumbag, face, dickhead, asshole.
And you ain't black.